You asked me if he will be able to win in 2028. And I say yes. He will be able to win come 2028 if the her is Dr. Bawumia going to win in 2028? Let me take you back. I'll go a little bit back into history. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, before he became president, in his university days, used to canvass for the CPP. It's on record. Then he came at the instigation of his uncle, William Ofori-Atta, to join the UP party. William Ofori-Atta was a leader. And it went on like that until somewhere before 1979, when the UP elected a certain Mr. Victor Owusu to lead the party. The Honorable William Ofori-Atta felt that the party had betrayed him. And so, Matemeho, he decided to form his own party, the UNC, with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as the General Secretary. And they entered into the elections in 1979. When the results were announced, Dr. Hilary Mann had 36.44%. PFP, I'm talking about today's NPP because it gave birth to NPP now, had 30.60%. And the Matemeho people had 17.51%. Now, in Twi we say afani afa enka eno nkyerese abonten suni mefanko. So a lot of people thought that being a family, they would come together and, of course, iron out their differences, win the election, and then the next thing will be history. But guess what? They decided to join PNC. They dragged the others along, and when the results came, Dr. Hilary Mann had 62%, and then the PFP had 38%. It became a bitter and acrimonious relationship between those people. And it went on until just before 1992, when Nana Akufo-Addo joined the NPP. And he did his best until 2016, when he emerged as the winner and the leader. Why did I need to go back? Just to highlight on the sense of entitlement of some people. When he became president, we all heard of the Ejapa phenomenon. The Ejapa thing wasn't just about the future of our gold and minerals. It was a future of the presidency. And they decided that their Ejanum, and I'm talking about J.B. Dankwa, I'm talking about Edward Akufo-Addo, I'm talking about William Ofori-Atta, they realized that their forefathers and their forebears had done so much for this country that there is the need for that legacy to be continued. And it became an issue. They were going to make sure that there were enough funds available for any descendants of these people to be able to scale that height, or at least to be able to pull the strings from the shadows. It was decided that after Nana Akufo-Addo, President Akufo-Addo's tenure, a certain suave, soft-spoken, white linen wearing, Bible quoting Kenneth Ofori-Atta would succeed him. It was decided that lawyer Gabi Otridako should not play any role in that government, so that if it went pear-shaped, he would also emerge from the shadows and make the influence that they wanted. However, it wasn't to be. Ken Ofori-Atta messed the whole plot for all of them. So, in as much as even his own parliamentarians tried to let him know that Ken was not good enough and should be removed, they kept thinking that somehow, some way, things will turn around and Ken Ofori-Atta would emerge the hero. And it never happened until the very final year of his departure, where he had to, of course, bring in somebody else and remove Ken. Gabi Otridako, who was to remain quiet in the sidelines, could not also fulfill his side of the role because he had become known as the prime minister of a sort. And so the whole plot failed. Now there was somebody else. And B is for Bawumia. Dr. Bawumia is nothing but a perpetuation of the Akufo-Addolization of the NPP and the presidency. Let me repeat if I went too fast. Dr. Mahmudu Bawumia is just a perpetuation of the Akufo-Addolization of the NPP and the presidency. You asked me if he will be able to win in 2028. And I say yes. He will be able to win come 2028 if the exchange rate, which they carried from 4 cedis to the dollar to 17 cedis, is exceeded to, let's say, 25 to 30 cedis per dollar. Then people will start calling for him to come back. He can win if the interest rate, which was 40%, and it's now 16%, goes above that 40% to, like, let's say 50 to 60%, then they will say, oh, okay, NDC is not performing well, and so let's give Dr. Bawumia the opportunity. He can win if the debt to GDP ratio, which they left at 93%, is exceeded. He can win if the impunity, the arrogance, the pomposity of the Akufo-Addo era is surpassed. Yes, he can win. He can win if the looting, the thievery, the corruption, the mismanagement is exceeded. That $97 million is thrown into a hole somewhere. That $31 billion It's siphoned out of the country into accounts overseas in the guise of imports. That 1.4 billion criminal enterprise, that 11.9 million Pualugu Dam scam, in which he himself has his name mentioned. And whilst all these monies were boomeranged into have enough money sitting somewhere for the future of their descendants, Kolebu dialysis department needed just 4 million Ghana cedis. And they pretended they didn't have money. And so 19 people had to die needlessly. Such wicked people. A lot of pensioners had to lose their lives. When all this looting, all this corruption, all this is exceeded, then you can tell me that Bawumia has a chance to win, and he will win. But this NDC, with the performance we've seen so far, tells us all that it will not happen. A lot of people wonder why he came back. Has he come back just to continue the looting? Has he come back so that he can bump up the number of ministers from 58 to the 126, which they argued was the number they could run this country with? Has he come back to collapse more banks and savings and loans and make people lose more jobs? Has he come back to make the situation worse? It is akin to a patient, a daughter, who was so